Hi guys, how are you doing today? Welcome to this episode of the Weekly Roundup. Today is 25th October 2025. Omaka Tugutwara. Only 2 months and a couple of days to the end of October.
For the love.
In history, on 25th October in 1987, Peugeot began production of its 405 four-door saloon at the Rayton plant near Coventry. Kati Peugeot techali popular Uganda because of maintenance. And you can ebiseera ebyo nalina akaguda dudu yange najigula walibwa kabaka njagala. Ninsanga omusajja nga aguze Peugeot naye nga wagigulidde tevudde. Ngefudde. Naye nga olwokuba yamaze oddosasula abasajja bo batebaagala kumanya. Aba yaguze dda. Ngeremeddewo. Naye nga mpya na open roof naye ng'egaanye. So anyway, that's what happened in history.
For the love of
And of course in Kenya, they have their auto show. Now it's okay to be guys. It has been a sad week. We lost more than 46 people. And of course the 46 are the people that they talked about when the accident had just fallen. And there are still other people that have died, I am sure, because of the healthcare of the country. And there's also images that were going around of people in a hospital corridor. So many bodies piled up in a hospital corridor. It is sad. So two buses collided because everyone has their version. So I have a version that was given to me by the team here. So it happened at a place called Chitaleba village along the Kampala-Gulu highway in Chiriandongo district. Yeah, it involved two passenger buses, a lorry and a Land Cruiser. So what happened? What is happening according to the investigations so far? At around 12:15 a.m., a bus which is Isuzu from Nile Star, registration UBF 631X, which was traveling from Kampala to Arua, attempted to overtake a Tata lorry UBK 647C. At the same time, a second bus, which was also Isuzu from Planet Bus Company, UAM 045V, traveling from Adjumani to Kampala, was also overtaking a Land Cruiser. So I'm sorry guys that I smile sometimes, I laugh sometimes, because some of these things, we keep talking about them and we keep doing them. So the two buses collided head on, which then caused the lorry, which was being overtaken by the first bus, to lose control and overturn several times, fall into a valley, and of course, so the victims were passengers from the two buses, from the lorry, and of course from the Land Cruiser that was also involved in the accident. So the survivors were taken to Chiriandongo General Hospital and other medical facilities, because we all know that hospital, in all honesty, might not be able to fit all those guys. So, and then of course, then the Uganda police confirmed. First of all, we had 63, then we had, I think, 20-something, and then the final number was brought out to be 46 people. So, and the police spokesperson, ACP Michael Kananura, called the crash one of the worst in recent history or in recent memory, adding that reckless overtaking continues to cost innocent lives. And yes, President Museveni gave 5 million to all the families, each family that lost a person, and 1 million to the survivors. Now, this is something that we have been talking about. Guys, bus drivers are driving very recklessly. You can start at a point where we are almost every police checkpoint, a bus driver is supposed to stop, take a chart. I think the chart is supposed to check the time stamp. Like you're supposed to reach at a certain police checkpoint at a certain time if you're traveling at the right speed. Now, what happens, and I hope I'm wrong. I think what happens is that these guys actually bribe the policemen. Because if they travel at the speed they're supposed to travel, we are not supposed to be having such accidents. And we have a lot of accidents that are happening courtesy of the buses. Overtaking. Guys, overtaking. The second accident that we had, I think this is one of the first people that has overturned the Mercedes-Benz, a GLE for that matter. Now, nobody saw him because he's rich, obviously, he can escape. So there is an eyewitness that saw the accidents of Mercedes-Benz GLE in Chigumba, still much for the bus. And the eyewitness said like this. This must have been on social media because there is an emoji. So a guy said, the accident happened right in front of me. The driver overtook me like a bullet. And the trailer was coming right in front to avoid a head-on collision. The driver lost control, which caused the car to slip and get crushed. Yeah, the condolences to the family members. So this obviously was on social media. So the police did not bring a statement, and still overtaking. I think the only two roads where I think it's safe to overtake are the Northern Bypass and the Entebbe Express, because the roads are clearly 2 lanes and there is no oncoming traffic. So those 2 roads it's safe to overtake. Other than that, no other road is safe to overtake. Especially when it's not clear. I see people overtaking in corners. You're not seeing where you're going. It's one of the reasons why the accident of the buses happened and why we lost a lot of people. It's sad. I think we should maintain 1 second of silence. So guys, whatever you do when you're driving on Ugandan roads, one thing we must master is our roads are very tiny. They are tiny, full of potholes, and while you're on the road, you need to understand that every other driver is an idiot. You're the only driver that knows what you're doing, because if you don't understand that, you're going to get crushed, you'll kill your family members, you will die, you'll kill other people, and then you'll get into a lot of trouble. Don't overtake in corners. Don't overtake even on straight paths when it's not safe. I think taxis. Every time I'm getting off the road and the taxi does not give me, I don't go. Anytime breaks a taxi zigwa. Asobola okuba musajja watunga emotoka akwatiride gwe no papa no wetoro okuba taxi jampora na kuyingira na kutomera. And obviously some people might be on the phone. Someone will be on the phone and scrolling on social media and yeah, they lose focus na kutomera. There is a time nalinzikira ku Bombo Road awe bwayise mujukira kiro we chattira abantu abangi. Omusajja wa Subaru yandi maaso, Subaru tetambula, nkube ngombe Subaru tetambula, muwa amatala tatambula, nenvaayo nenzira eno ne muyitamu, because remember bwayise ng'okkirirawo ng'odda ku round, abavengulu basobola okukola lane bin most of the times. Indukula gayi ng'awese ng'atomedde emmotoka endala. Bwe yavaamu, I think yali mu kigo, manyi abakiga bwe boogeza maanyi, boogera tebafaayo. Yawaleka, eganye okusiba! Yayogera Luganda naye Luganda nga luli broken ng'oluwulira sirwa Abaganda lwa mukiga. Eganye okusiba kati nze nkole ki? Kyokka atomedde emmotoka y'omusajja naye ng'engeri gy'ayogera nga yalinga gwe batomedde. So sometimes abantu abamu tebamanyi na kuvuga mmotoka. Emmotoka esobola omuzikirako ng'eri mu neutral because omuliro wali mutono, oba neemuzikirako for whatever reason najja n'akutomera. So you need to be very vigilant weebeerere mu ng'ovuga. But it's really sad what happened on that highway. And of course in Kenya, the flying squad, some of you guys flying squad, so there was a Primo that was sold in Jinja, a UBA 457K was sold in Jinja on 13th October, and flying squad working with the Kenyan Directorate of Criminal Investigation, DCI, they worked together and they recovered the vehicle. So they recovered it in Bungoma County, that's in Western Kenya. And Babade already were not Kenya, but they called the number plate KDH 213Z. Babade they had already. So the 2 suspects who were Kenyan nationals were arrested at a garage during the raid, and then of course they're still arrested in Kenya. What does this teach us, guys? Your car can be stolen right now and it ends up in Kenya if you don't have a tracker. Arthur sells trackers, car trackers. 450,000 for one that has a microphone so that you hear them taking your car, and then 350,000 for one that is normal. Buy a tracker. You know, good. I've not made it up. But it's news. It was stolen from Jinja, taken in Kenya. The tracker gives you access to information, to real-time location. Buy trackers. Never to go Arthur. You can buy from wherever. Some of you guys like cheap things. And guys, of course, in Kenya, there is an Auto and Motor Show 2025. It's really sad that we will not be making this one, but the one in December, the e-mobility expo in December. Twagala tugenda katuvuga moroka ya masanyalaze. All the way nga wetuka netucharginga, nitweyongerayo. I'm going to be fundraising for that very soon, guys. Abagala okutiramu akasente, akanasuza timu yange, akanalisa timu yange, tuinaka abantu abalya oli yafumbiro nalekera okulya. Naye nga yali alya nnyo. kati oli ye muwulu kati aleka yi kati ye yadda mu kifo kyoli. So nja kuba mbagamba tusobole okugenda mu e-mobility expo, and so it's happening this very month 26th to 28th at the Kenyatta International Convention Center, KICC, and they have over 200 exhibitors from Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda, Japan, India and South Africa, and so it's going to be one of the largest auto trade gatherings in the region, bigger than the auto show obviously, because if they have people from all around the continent. At the auto show in Kololo, we had people from Kenya, we had people from Tanzania. It was also big, and they came and they exhibited. So I'm curious to see what kind of exhibition we're going to be having in Kenya. We'll be reporting on it next week in the weekly roundup as well.
For the love of cars, Uganda.
And then of course in Pasadena, General Motors facility caught fire, and then of course it was the where they make electric cars. So some of the things that caught fire were multiple concept cars. Yeah, a concept car is a car that is still in development, or a car that has been developed and earmarked for further development. And then of course lithium ion batteries that were inside, and then of course there was a 4-alarm buzz. I'm thinking that's a big thing. Yeah. And then of course crews encountered difficulty nga bagezako zikiza omuliro. So, and the facility is being used to design to come up with design for General Motors, Cadillac, Buick and GMC and Chevrolet. So that is what is happening. Nikata babazungu bayino obu sprinkler ubera wago. Njagala busa no mu nyumba yange naye wayitadde sprinkler bwa amazi. Lwakuba nti gona oyina busa anti kati awe wali tagali naye nabo bafumba sprinklers oyinza ozisa mu room endala ezitaliimu mukka, because sprinklers ziyambako. Wane Uganda ne fire brigade yaffe ejja omuliro guzikidde neehiwa y'amazzi bannanga fire brigade mutusaasire. That's the reputation. I hope the PR office can fix that. Ekyo tekiri mbongo bwange bukka, kiri ojjukira ekyebando bwe twali twakavayo omuliro ogwakwata, twapangisa ekimotoka ky'amazzi mu motoka ebyalayo ne kizikiza, bali bajja guzikidde. And it's a very bad thing. Manyi ebintu ebimu ebigenda obubi mu ggwanga tetukkizibwa byogerako, naye waliwo ebimu ebisaana okwogerwako batereeze, because that's their only job, to put out fires. But of course olumu obasaasira enguudo ziba zizibikidde jaamu, olumu batuukanga ekimotoka amazzi oba gaayise nga tegaliimu, olumu nabo obasaasira.
From dusty roads to dreams we patrol.
Ford Motor Company is recalling a number of vehicles. Over 1,448,000 vehicles in the US are being recalled over a rear view camera fault. Wane Uganda wano yinza n'okuddayo ne bakuvuma n'okuvuma. Nze kati ebintu natandika bigula ku Jumia, kubanga Jumia and all these online retailers, at least you can return. Ane Kampala n'ogula ekintu downtown ku musuubuzi w'omu kibuga awo mu dduuka okukizaayo bayinza n'okukuba empi, bayinza n'okwegaana. Yesterday we did inspection for someone, netugenda ku Forex Bureau na avungisa sente mbwa asaba receipt, mga yo receipt bwotuuka eringa sente bakuwadde bichupuli, yo receipt tekyakuyamba bayinza n'okukuba empinto oyagala bafeera ne babe babikuwadde. So that's the thing that is happening, and but Ford Motors is recalling a lot of vehicles. Mulimu Ford Explorer, Escape, Mustang, Flex, Fiesta is a motoka bali mukuzi recallinga, but inspecting it, and then they replace the cameras for free, obviously. So that's what's happening. I hope Ugandan traders can learn. One, I find that Jumia is the artist bakubira karango. It's something I've seen. I can return something and they give me back my money. Osegera chokera aba downtown abagano biz to be bad busy. Ate babikirizanga Jumia bibadiza. You don't understand how they deal. And then of course in Vietnam, Golf is going to launch Batwala Golf, Volkswagen bagenda twala Golf Vietnam. So what is happening? Waliwo amawulire Vietnam ge bayita Viet Bao, the iconic Volkswagen Golf, a model line that has defined more than 50 years of German automotive engineering. Namwe wano muina Golf mpitirivu. Tandika Golf 2, Golf 3, Golf 4, Golf 5, Golf 6, up to Golf 7. Abantu bazivuga wano. So bagenda kuba bazikola imoroka bagenda zi manufacturing Wolfsburg plant, and je bagenda zikola nga bazitwala Vietnam. Now a number of vehicles ezigenda okubeera osobola zibaragao bagenda ko balina Golf Life, anti kati amanya gabaganja ulo Golf Life, balina gye bayita golf style, golf R line eyo mugitegedde eyo GTE ne golf R ezo ezimu badde nzaba wana abaana nga bazivuga omwana yasinga ekolo wano mu Jimukane yasinga nga musinzi anti yasinga bali banne yali avuga golf yali avuga GTI and then of course bagenda ko ba celebrate bavuga emmotoka z'abajama gwe Vietnam balina sente okusinzira ku sente ku filimu ze tubadde tulaba ez'aba Vietnam balina byadda tebalima mukyere
Uganda.
akalowoozo k'olunaku the guys that overtaking corners, please don't overtake in corners. Eyo gy'odduka njagala nkubuulire Uganda wano tewali muntu akola enough money to warrant dying. Kabeere President Museveni kyova olaba bw'aba atambula atujja ku kkubo naye akimanyi emirimu gye mumuwa teyagala kufiira awo. Mumulabe ennaku zino bw'abeera ekkolabera mu kagiraasi emirimu gye mumuwa tegiri worth his life. So kakati gwe kikuyisiza mu koona kiki? What? Don't overtake in corners. It's very dangerous. Sometimes there are blind spots oba tulaba mmoloka ejja naye eba tekulaba. The only place you should overtake is a place when it's a straight stretch ng'olengera gy'olaga osobola okulaba emmoloka nti ejja. Ate when it's a broken line, for example ku Bombo Road okuva e Kawanda paka Kawempe Roads Authority yatulimba mwawo gomanyi ekitegeeza obutayisa kuva Kawempe kuva Kawanda paka Kawempe naye tekikkirizibwa. Nange ennyinza oba nali njisizzaako nga sinnalaba nti that line was straight ennaku zino. Solid line from Kawanda. Do you know what that means? Nze ndowooza oba baateesamu n'abantu abali corrupt kubbirawo bizi bantu. But anyway, don't overtake in sharp corner.
From dusty roads to dreams we patrol.
And of course, the tip of the day and the tip of the week, guys, don't drive when you're tired. And some of us have to drive. But when I'm driving and I'm tired, I move with a cup of coffee, or I buy a cup bajita espresso. Espresso ke kakao akatalimu yadda amazzi. Banyiga coffee yennyini ne bayingiramu otuzi tutini akantu ako kagoba otulo. Tekamanyi energy drink zammwe. Energy drink muziveeko. Mukozese kagundo okujja ku energy drink etuwadde wano sente za sponsorship. Naye muziveeko. Esaawa ntunywe coffee. Tuwagire abalimi bafa abakaawa. Abalima coffee. Genda ku any petrol station. Petrol station ez'amaanyi zonna ziyina we bakolera coffee. Bagambe njagala espresso kaba ka 15. Kaba mu kakopo nga katono bwe kati nakaba katono bwe kati kanywe. Ekisooka kakaawa. Kaba katano. Ewa. Amwe mugenda mbifo bya bbeeyi. Kaba keezo espresso. Kaba tekali mu mazzi. Kati ne cappuccino naye abasinga oba wataano oba wakasanvu. Kati cappuccino yabeeramu amazzi. Basobola n'okuteramu ku mata naye nze nywa espresso. Guys, if you're tired and you really must drive, like sometimes nze ku Friday olunaku olwokutaano lumbeera luzibu olw'ekimeeza ngula ka espresso kanyambako nenywa. Nsobola okunywa bu espresso nga bubiri nentuuka ewaka nentuuka olunaaba bwenti nkakanzigwako nga neera. In today's comparison, I want us to compare the Rumion and the Toyota Fielder. Why am I comparing? Because yesterday I inspected a car for a lady and a gent. It was a couple and we were buying. Their interest initially was Rumion, Fielder, They wanted to buy used cars and I told them, no, let's go to the bond. Now, if you're going to buy either a Fielder or Rumion, I want you to know these are basically the same car. Because both cars come with either a 1NZ or a 2ZR engine. Both of them will either come with a CVT or automatic. Now, the models you're going to be buying from the bond will have a CVT. So the engine gearbox are the same. Suspension, bikwatagana. So you're literally buying the same car. What makes the difference is the shape. The Rumion is bigger, gives you bigger leg room, it gives you a bigger headroom, and gives you a bigger body. The Fielder will give you a more aerodynamic car. So fuel-wise, the Fielder might save a bit of fuel if they have the same engine and gearbox. And what makes the Rumion special, it will be much more comfortable than the Fielder. So the Rumion, for me, if I were to compare both cars, I'll definitely go for the Rumion. Why are people buying the Fielder? It's what they know. We have the old model Fielder. So the Fielder is more popular because it was on the road before the Rumion. The Fielder is more expensive than the Rumion. Nina guy go nalabye ku X nga postinze Rumion nti bagituma $1.3 million. I think it was a typing error. Like abadde agala gamba 34. The Rumion is cheaper than the Fielder. If you buy a Rumion more expensive than a Fielder, baba bakubye. Which one would I buy? I would definitely buy the Rumion. Why? I save money in buying and we maintain the same way. Fuel consumption will majority of the time be the same. Boot space, the Fielder appears to be giving you more boot space, but the boot space is actually the same because the Rumion gives you a taller boot. In terms of ground clearance, I find that the Rumion gives you bigger and longer ground clearance, better ground clearance. So I'll definitely go for the Rumion. Bumper yayo tegenda kuvako maunga ya Fielder, and of course a swagger. Chirumion ekyo bwoba okyali muvuka kirya nnyo swagger. Fielder kati yabazeeyi mugireke.
For the love of cars, Uganda.
Thank you very much for being part of this week's episode of the Car Weekly Roundup. Be safe, don't drink and drive. Ogenda jote sikateka kakapira. Until next time. Ciao.